Hello, citizens of the Imperium, and welcome back to another YouTube video. I'm your host, Sing, and today it is the first Thursday of April, which means I think there's been a reveal for the Horus Heresy, and I think it might just be Beakies. Now, guys, I'm so excited. This is we've got a full article now showing off the tactical squads that we're going to get in the new box set. Just want to preface this, GW, if you're listening, Eventbrite sucks. You really should put a queuing system in for your tickets, and you should probably limit tickets to maybe 3 or 4 per person and not 10. As you can tell, a little bit disappointed I didn't get tickets to the open day so I can see these Beakies in the flesh soon, but hey, at least it wasn't bots. I've been pipped, and I'll hold my hands up and say I was simply 2 seconds late, and that's just not good enough when it comes to a Games Workshop Eventbrite page. So let's get talking. We've had a great video come at us that shows the Beakies off in drop pod assaults, and we also got some head-to-head shots of Imperial Fists and Sons of Horus, which looks to be in a certain terrain setup similar to a certain photo that's nearly a year old, but it'll be a year old in June, of a certain battlefield. Although what the name of the battlefield we don't know for sure yet. We've heard some rumors. So yeah, incredibly excited. Let's take a look through the article, and we'll have some images going up on screen as well as we go through all these Beakies. So, as the article says, there they are in all their archaic and all plastic glory. You got to get that out there straight away for all the people who haven't been following the rumor mill. Yeah, 100%. This is going to be all plastic basically from now on. I think you can sort of take it as a given that everything shown in these Thursdays is going to be plastic, and on the rare exception that something comes out from Forge World, that will stay resin. Car Banda, who I'm still actually not convinced exists as a miniature for sale. I think that was just something they wheeled out for LVO. Anyway, as they say, this is an incredibly versatile kit with plenty of options for posing and gear. This is a Legion tactical squad, so it's old style bolters and bayonets for everyone. Yeah, so in the Horus Heresy, if you're new, everyone except the sergeant basically runs a bolter in a tactical squad, and then anything else is, you move into a different category of squad. And so this just means you're firing big old chunky rounds. And then we have the first sort of carousel of images. One thing that's striking straight away, yeah, they definitely look taller. I think people need to get ready to get over it. These guys are going to be big. It's just that simple. Another thing that I think is really cool is all the areas. Now, either they're drilling their barrels themselves, or they've put indentations in to drill the barrels. It kind of looks like there's almost a little indentation at the end of a bolter, and the what's called the muzzle brake at the sort of at the side as well is also indented. So it looks, if it comes like that, so you can just paint it black if you don't want to do all the drilling, and then it looks like it's been drilled completely anyway. That is going to be so cool. And that's definitely true on the sides. You're not going to have to worry about drilling through the sides of a bolter by the looks of it. You can just paint that black. You're good to go. And no one's going to care too much. Yeah, and we got bayonets at the end of a bolter. I think this is going to be sort of quite a standard way to run things. You want to close with the enemy and get in there and get into the assault phase, then you're going to want something to be able to hit them with. So yeah, these bayonets look really cool. It's a really unique little thing that I haven't seen too much before. We've sort of seen like almost like chainsaw attachments you can put on. We've also got the sergeant here, and it says the sergeant gets a plasma pistol and a choice of power sword, power fist, or lightning claw. So interesting that it's a little bit limited on the side weapon, the sort of secondary weapon, the pistol the sergeant can take. but Power Sword, Power Fist, or Lightning Claw are all very cool choices. The Power Sword here looks awesome, and he's got great posing going on as well. And we see one variant of the helmeted crest, which we know is going to be the sergeant's crest, and when you've got a sort of mohawk crest, that's going to be for Legion officers, as per the leaks. The tactical squad has more than weapons to play with, it says. The kit also includes optional war gear such as a Legion Vexilia, which is a back banner, a Nuncio Vox, and we've got a Marine with a Nuncio Vox, and you can put in this, being overrun, drop it right on us, man, and call the broken arrow in, so that your Thunderhawks and Stormbirds can clear the field off, and an augury scanner to help intercept sneakier foes, as well as packs of melter bombs, frag grenades, and crack grenades, as I'm sure almost everyone's familiar with all of those and their purposes. Long-time Warhammer fans will notice echoes of the original plastic Space Marine, the legendary RTB-01 box. Yeah, okay. Luckily, I don't think the words Warhammer 40,000 are actually said in this article. I was a little bit concerned when Warcom would start doing this stuff. Are they, like Wade was doing at LVO, they reveal Carbanda and spend half of Carbanda's time slot talking about other game systems you can use them in, which doesn't really seem to be the case here, by the way. Obviously, they're calling back, and there's been a big discourse on Twitter and YouTube about Mark 6 isn't correct for, someone was going to be unhappy when this box set was made. Someone, when we get, especially because it's upscaled, so it's not going to be in line with any old kits you had anyway. If they did upscale Mark 4, it's not relevant to the old Mark 4, and then you'd have people who wanted Mark 6 getting upset. This needs to sell well. Mark 6 is going to sell the best. It hasn't had its standalone plastic kit for a long time, and yeah, I mean it's that simple. I think they look great. They are Heresy era. Leaky Cheese has done plenty of detective work explaining why everyone is allowed to use these. And at the end of the day, I get your preferences, but you can't tell people what to do. 40 guys out of 100,000 strong Legion aren't allowed to wear Mark 6. They haven't been given. Perturabo hasn't given it to them to spite them. At the end of the day, boys, it's just I know there's personal preference involved, but everyone can use this in the law. Always have been able to. It's that simple. Some just used it more than others. So, as it says about the size as well, the Legionaries in the new kit are larger, more imposing, and less bow-legged, but they have that same versatility and the same option to strap a great big chain blade to the barrel of their gun for an extra dose of marine on marine ultra violence. Yeah, I mean this is going to be and we have a Death Guard here. We have an image of what looks like an ultramarine. Although I'm curious as to who's painted this ultramarine, because it's looking a little bit it's looking different. It doesn't really feel like the same sort of McCrag blue color scheme. And I'm not getting him confused with the Night Lord. Don't worry. There's also a Night Lord with a Power Claw, with what looks like probably a Raven Guard, of course, who are probably most associated with Mark 6 in the lore. We have the Raven Guard Legionary, and then we have the Death Guard Legionary, because he is just miserable and bitter and violent. He has got a chain blade, and it's showing it off there, which you'll be familiar with if you've played the Horus Heresy before. And I mean, the kit looks great, and I'm really excited to get our hands on them. If the box set rumors are true and the image is correct that we are getting 40 of these guys in the box, what I will say is it looks nice and versatile. I feel like they're gonna be kind of monopose, but you gain more sort of more actual movement in the pose, rather than you can twist a guy's body a little bit more, but he's still going to be a squat Marine at the end of the day. And I'm not knocking the older Marines, don't worry, but these guys, you do have some of those guys who are sort of bracing themselves, firing. You do have guys who are striding forward to close with the enemy. We've got the one we've seen at Adepticon. I mean, there's lots going on, and I think there's going to be enough in this kit to still make these Marines feel individual, because at the end of the day, you're gonna have squads of 10 or 20 of these guys on the tabletop, and lots of them. You could be fielding like 50 Marines in your army, and you want them to have some better posing, perhaps. Then this kit is definitely for you. And that's it for now. I mean, it says there's so much more to come from the Horus Heresy in April. We'll be revealing a new plastic model for the new edition each week on Thursday. We were discussing this over on the Discord, which you can find a link for at the bottom. We were discussing that just yesterday, and we said that we thought we would see perhaps something from either side. So we thought that we did think the tactical squad would come today, because it's the most basic unit in there, and they'll get more unique and bigger now, I think we'll see as it goes on. So for example, if they're only doing one like model or squad, I could definitely see it being the Terminators next week, because at the end of the day, if they're just the Calf ones with some with an upgrade sprue for the newer options they can take as per the leaks, it's not as exciting. And then we'll get the Imperial Fist Praetor, then the Contemptor, and then the Spartan at the end. I think that's what's going to happen there. And on top of that, I want to talk a little bit about Rumours. We tweeted about this recently. The rumor, in the loosest sense of the word, very much a rumor, but is basically from Fayette, or recycled from Fayette, of a big price and release list. Our understanding, there is just no weight to it. The prices, if you look, pulled out of thin air, basically copied and pasted Primaris or Firstborn prices with no variation. And they're just not being logical. We've had a load of stuff go last chance to buy on Forge World, which we covered in a podcast episode that me and Varela, my co-host, did with Dantiok and Leaky Cheese. You can find a link to the podcast below as well. And Forge World would not be putting the Rhino, the Contemptor, etc., the Sicarian on last chance to buy unless it was coming soon in plastic. It's that simple. And then I think this rumor had Rhinos coming out in like August or September. Mate, no chance. So, with all due respect, that rumor is tosh, and unless I'm wrong, and I'd be very upset if I was, because it is an awful release calendar, in my opinion. But I trust GW on this, and I think that's incorrect on that rumor. The rumors that we have been told, and I can call other rumors tosh. You can call my rumors tosh, and at the end of the day, must say that it's a rumor. There is a good chance it doesn't happen, but it's what we've heard is that potentially at this open day now, I think that in May they will reveal more than what was in the box set. I think in April is the box set. The leaked box set is going to be released in April. I don't think we're going to suddenly see a Kratos tank in April. Hopefully no one has to smash cut this to them showing a Kratos tank next week. But the Kratos tank is not in the box set. The Spartan is, and I think the Spartan will be the final piece at the last week of April. Then it's going to be coming end of May, June. This launch box set, whatever it's called. And it's going to have a rulebook. And in that rulebook, it's going to have pictures of all the new models. Because why would you use old Forge World resin models that you're not going to be able to get anymore, like the old Rhino, the old Contemptor, the old Leviathan, if there are nice new plastic ones that are about to come out? So Games Workshop then have a time period. If you think about it, they're going to be in, and it's May, because they're like, right, so we'll have revealed the box set in April, and then people are going to be getting hold of their rulebook a month after that ends, potentially. And so we don't want people, just the reveals of all these new models being people taking photos of the book in the launch box and putting it on Twitter or Facebook. That's not a good marketing strategy. So in May, I think at one of these events, probably now the open day, my prediction at the time was Warhammer Fest Online, but now at the open day, there's going to be what I would call phase 1 of the Horus Heresy is going to get shown off, which will be the Sicarian, which is a combo with a Kratos, as we've seen in the trailer. The Rhino and the Leviathan. I think those are safe bets for phase 1. And then in addition, I think we'll get tiered starter sets and stuff that from the box set, like the Beakies, going available as individual sets. That is the rumor that we've heard. That this will happen in May, and I think having applied good old dash of logic and common sense in there, there's something to that. So on that note, we're going to wrap up the video. Thank you to all of the Patreons who support us and make the YouTube channel and podcast possible. Guys, follow us on Twitter, join our Discord, listen to our podcast, and believe in 2.0. Goodbye now.